You've felt it before. The meeting where confidence speaks louder than competence. The family dinner where emotion drowns out evidence. The online debate where facts dissolve into noise. You listen. You calculate. You prepare to clarify what is obviously flawed. And once again you explain. Calmly, logically, thoroughly, and once again, nothing changes. Instead, you leave drained, not because you were wrong, but because you were unheard. Intelligence, in those moments, stops feeling like an advantage. It feels like exposure. You see layers others refuse to see. You recognize contradictions they confidently defend. Most people argue to win. You argue to clarify. That difference is subtle but costly, because when clarity meets ego, clarity loses. And if you don't understand why, you will keep bleeding energy in rooms that were never built for truth. Here is the mistake you keep making. You assume other people value truth the way you do. You assume that if evidence is clear enough, if logic is structured enough, if contradictions are exposed cleanly enough, the other person will adjust. That assumption is the trap. Psychologists call part of it the Dunning-Kruger effect, the tendency of the least competent to possess the highest confidence. But the label is not the important part. The dynamic is, the less someone understands, the less capable they are of recognizing their own limitations. Their certainty is not built on knowledge. It is built on ego preservation. You enter arguments seeking clarity. They enter seeking validation. You bring nuance. They bring identity. And identity will always fight harder than facts. So you prepare your reasoning. You cite examples. You refine your tone. Meanwhile, they simply refuse to yield. You are burning calories. They are burning nothing. And the longer you stay in that arena, the more you confuse effort with effectiveness. 2 centuries ago, Arthur Schopenhauer dissected this dynamic with unsettling precision in The Art of Being Right. He did not treat argument as a noble search for truth. He treated it as psychological warfare. His core insight was simple and brutal. Most people do not argue to discover what is correct. They argue to protect their ego from collapse. Schopenhauer believed the intellect is merely a servant to the will, and the will blind, emotional self-preserving ways fights to survive. When you challenge someone's belief, you are not challenging an idea. You are threatening their internal stability. Their ego responds accordingly. This is why stupidity is not passive ignorance. It is active defense. It resists, deflects, and attacks. Modern culture pretends debate is collaborative. Schopenhauer understood it is competitive. That clarity is uncomfortable. It strips away idealism, but it explains why reason alone so rarely wins. Every argument costs you more than you think. Your brain tracks inconsistencies, predicts counterpoints, regulates tone, and suppresses irritation all at once. That cognitive load is real. Mental bandwidth is finite. The more you spend trying to correct someone committed to misunderstanding you, the less remains for your own growth. Fools rarely win by outsmarting you. They win by outlasting you. They repeat, deflect, and exhaust. Eventually you either withdraw in frustration or escalate emotionally. Either way, you lose composure. The reactive mind is prey. It moves when provoked. It responds when baited. The detached observer is predator. It chooses when to engage and when to ignore. If you are honest, part of you argues because you want to be seen as intelligent. You want acknowledgement. That craving is the vulnerability. The moment you need recognition, anyone can manipulate you with disagreement. So what do you do instead? You deny friction. You stop pushing against their force and redirect it. One of Schopenhauer's sharpest tools resembles what philosophers call reductio ad absurdum. Take their premise and extend it to its logical extreme, not to educate them, but to expose the instability of the idea. Agree, then amplify calmly. If a colleague insists that expertise is meaningless and anyone could run the company better, you don't argue qualifications. You nod and suggest they apply for the CEO position tomorrow. Watch how quickly certainty softens. Then there is strategic silence, not sulking, not passive aggression, just stillness. Let their words hang in the air without resistance. Most people cannot tolerate that vacuum. They begin correcting themselves. Finally, adopt the avatar method. Outwardly polite, agreeable, unthreatened, inwardly detached, Observing, conserving energy. Weakness explains. Strength neutralizes. Your goal is not to win the exchange. It is to exit untouched. The dynamic becomes more dangerous when the irrational person holds authority. Insecure leaders do not experience intelligence as support. They experience it as threat. When you display brilliance in front of mediocrity, you expose what they lack, and insecure authority protects itself aggressively. In those environments, open correction is suicide. Instead, practice concealed intelligence. Ask questions. Offer ideas indirectly. Let them feel ownership. Submission, when strategic, is not weakness. It is positioning. Your intelligence is not a badge to display. It is a concealed weapon. Emotional maturity means knowing when visibility empowers you and when invisibility protects you. Intelligence is not proving you are right. Power is not caring if they know it. When you stop reacting, fools become background noise. You place your mind in quarantine, protecting it from unnecessary battles. Most people will keep arguing. Few will master detachment. Become the observer, the architect, the unshaken mind in a room full of noise.